What up, y'all? It's Led Black of the Uptown Collective, and my guest this week is none other than my brother Domingo Estevez of UpliftNYC. Domingo, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm just proud to be able to share a platform with you, Led. You know, like you always say, spreading love is the Uptown way.
That's right, my brother. That's right, man. I really appreciate. You know, it's funny because we've been talking the last few days since the march happened on June 6th, but we've been talking about other steps, and I don't think that we've talked, you know, really about that beautiful march that took place that was supposed to be postponed, but the people made it happen. We made it happen. And it was a beautiful moment that I think, like, the pictures do it justice, but I think it was a historic for Uptown, where it wasn't the politicians led, it was people led. And it was a beautiful moment. It was funny because the moment we stepped out of Mitchel Square, the skies opened up and it was a torrential biblical downpour. But it just energized us further, and then the skies opened up and it got warm and beautiful again. Can you talk about that moment and how it happened and your role in it?
Yeah, so I think, like, one thing that's important to note, Led, is just how things transpired, right? I think, like you said, man, it was just one of those moments that's gonna be in a history book somewhere, or it will be documented somewhere, where, you know, like, I just saw the rain as transformation and the universe letting us know that it's time, you know, it's time to organize, it's time to abolish, and it's time to transform, you know what I'm saying, and do away with a lot of structures that have been oppressing people throughout times.
That's so deep, and that kind of leads into my next question. Like, you know, why do we have to organize? Why do we have to agitate? Why is that even important? You know, our parents came here for the dollar and to make money, and why is organizing and agitating? Why is that important? Why is that matter to me, to the average person?
I think, Led, as you understand migration, when people leave their countries, is not necessarily because they want to, it's because of a need, right? A need to be able to get their children educated, a need to be able to overcome poverty, a need to be able to put their family in a position where they're going to survive. So coming here and we get an education, what we're seeing is that our education is telling us what we're seeing is wrong, you know, and that we have the responsibility to be able to challenge it and to be able to transform society. So our parents did come here to make that buck, but the education that we received is letting us know that making that buck is not enough. We have to keep organizing. We have to keep looking at systems, holding them accountable. And if they're not able to contribute to society in a positive, we have to abolish them and we have to transform them.
That's so super profound. And one thing that I find interesting is that, you know, the march was about, you know, Black Lives Matter and about stopping this injustice, about these heavy things, but it was also joy. It was joyous, you know, and how do you find joy doing this heavy work that you do? You know, we're talking about death, we're talking about oppression, but if without joy, then what is it? So how do you find joy in what you do?
I think it's the matter that is about life. You know what I'm saying? It's about how do we protect life? How do we come together as a society to be able to make sure that these injustices don't happen? And it's about the preservance of life, you know? And I think, like, that's the most important thing. It's not about the situations that transpired, but it's about how do we prevent them from happening because we cherish life so much. And that's what gives me the energy that I need to be able to keep doing what I do.
And lastly, how do you see the movement, you know, evolving going forward?
I think it's about being able to raise a collective consciousness where, as a community, we come together and the conclusion is we have to organize our community block by block, have these uncomfortable situations, and learn how to organize through conflict, through disagreement, because at the end of the day, somebody's life might be at risk that we might not necessarily know, who might be one of our family members, because the way it's happening, we don't know who's next. The goal is to prevent that from happening, you know?
Yo, that's so dope. My brother, thank you for all you do. And I'll see you on the streets. And
Yes,
thank
sir.
you once again. And I always end my segment with spread love is the Uptown way. Mino,
That's
take
a
it away.
fact.
All right, y'all.